Here's a number that doesn't make sense. The 3D industry is projected to cross $300 billion this year. That's bigger than the global music industry, bigger than Hollywood box office. And yet, I know 5 junior artists, objectively more talented than I was at their age, who've been job hunting for 8 months straight. So where's all that money going? And why isn't it reaching the people actually making the art? The answer isn't AI stole your job. It's way more complicated, way more interesting, and honestly, it favors the people who understand what's really happening. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly where the industry is heading, which skills are actually worth your time, and why the biggest VFX house in London just hired 30 people who've never opened Maya, never touched ZBrush, and never animated a single frame, and paid them more than most mid-level artists. Yeah, we'll get to that. But first, we need to talk about what actually happened to AI in 2026. Let's rip the Band-Aid off first. Everyone predicted 2026 would be the year AI replaced half the 3D workforce. Twitter was basically a doomsday cult. Learn to code, they said. Pivot to plumbing, they said. So what actually happened? A mid-sized studio in Austin I keep in touch with used to spend 6 months producing a single cinematic trailer. Last quarter, they did it in 8 weeks. Same team size, same quality. They just integrated AI into their texturing, blocking, and look dev pipeline. Here's the twist. They didn't fire a single artist. Instead, they bid on 3 more projects and hired 2 new people. That's the pattern nobody's talking about. AI didn't replace artists. It replaced the time between artists and their best work. The grunt work. The UV unwrapping marathons. The make 12 variations of this prop requests. But, and this is crucial, the artists who thrived weren't the ones who learned the coolest AI prompts. They were the ones who learned how to direct the AI, how to spot when a generated texture was physically inaccurate, how to know a walk cycle was 5% off before the director saw it. In other words, taste just became the most valuable technical skill you can have. And if you're thinking, great, so AI helps seniors and screws juniors, you're halfway right. But not for the reason you think. So if AI is making everyone faster, why are so many juniors crying on Reddit? Let me tell you about Jake. Not his real name, but his story is everywhere right now. Jake graduated from a boot camp last year. His portfolio? Stunning. Hard surface mech that belongs in a AAA game. Character sculpt that looks like it walked out of a cinematic. He applied to 40 studios. 40. Crickets. Not because he's not talented, because his portfolio answered the wrong question. See, in 2023, a beautiful portfolio was enough. The tools were hard enough that just operating them made you valuable. But in 2026, Blender is free. AI can generate a base mesh in seconds. Beautiful is the baseline now. What Jay couldn't answer was, how does this asset perform in Engine? What's the texel density? Does it work with our lighting constraints? Can another artist pick this up and understand your topology flow? He was an artist. Studios needed a problem solver who happens to be an artist. The boot camps sold him 2022 advice in 2026 packaging. They taught him software. The industry now needs pipeline thinking. Here's the unexpected part. Senior artists aren't just surviving. They're overwhelmed. Every studio I talk to has the same problem. They can't find enough mid-level and senior talent. The juniors are stacked 10 deep. The people who can own a shot from start to finish? Crickets. So the gap isn't between artists and AI. It's between people who make pretty things and people who understand why pretty things work. And that gap is where your opportunity lives. But opportunity means nothing if you're learning the wrong tools. Okay, so what should you actually learn in 2026? Let's run through the battlefield. Blender isn't just the indie darling anymore. Major studios are adopting it for previs, look dev, and even final assets, especially with geometry nodes becoming a procedural powerhouse. It's free, it's fast, and the enterprise support finally stopped being a joke. Maya? Still the king of character animation in AAA. If you want to work on the next big animated film or cinematic game, you still need it. But it's no longer the only door in. Unreal Engine stopped being a game engine 2 years ago. It's now a real-time production hub. Virtual production, previs, final pixel rendering, broadcast graphics. It's eating markets that used to belong to offline renderers. Speaking of which, Houdini used to be that scary thing FX artists used. Now, if you're doing environments and you don't understand procedural workflows, you're working at half speed. And then there's USD, Universal Scene Description. Remember when I said I'd tell you about the most valuable skill on your resume? This is it. USD is becoming the universal language of 3D pipelines. It's how Maya talks to Unreal. It's how VFX houses handle massive scenes. It's boring. It's technical. And it's the thing that separates the $35 per hour generalist from the $80 per hour pipeline artist. The key takeaway? The specific software matters less than understanding how they talk to each other. The pipeline is the product now. But knowing the tools doesn't pay the bills if you're in a dying niche. Let's talk cash flow. Virtual production had its hype peak in 2024. The headlines cooled off. But here's what nobody reported. The infrastructure stayed. LED volumes are now standard on mid-budget productions. The Wild West phase is over, but the work is stable. Spatial computing is the new Wild West. Apple Vision Pro 2, Meta Quest 4. These devices need 3D content that actually works in stereo at frame rate with proper spatial audio. Most 3D artists have zero experience optimizing for headset performance. That ignorance? It's a billing opportunity for the people who figure it out first. Indie games are in a golden age. Steam releases are up 40% year over year. Small teams of 2 or 3 people are using AI tools to punch 10 times above their weight. The barrier to entry didn't just lower, it got demolished. Here's a weird one. AI training data creation. Companies are paying artists to create clean, labeled, physically accurate 3D datasets to train the next generation of models. It's not sexy. It's not Instagram worthy, but it pays extremely well and requires real artistic knowledge. On the flip side, traditional VFX houses are consolidating. The small shops are getting swallowed. ArchViz is being commoditized by AI renders unless you're doing real-time interactive walkthroughs. The industry isn't shrinking. It's splintering, and the money is flowing into lanes that didn't exist 3 years ago. So the question isn't, is there work? The question is, are you positioned in a lane that has money? But positioning means nothing without the right skills. All right, remember that London studio? The one that hired 30 people with no traditional 3D skills and paid them like mid-level artists? Here's what they actually do. They're pipeline translators. They sit between the AI systems and the art teams. They understand USD. They can read a Python script, diagnose why an AI-generated mesh is breaking the rig, and communicate that to an artist in language they actually understand. They're bilingual. They speak art and technology fluently. That's the skill stack of 2026. Not sculpting, not even lighting, though those matter. The meta skill is bridging gaps. Technical art is the hottest title right now. Shaders, scripting, optimization, tool creation. If you can make the art look good and make it run fast, you're basically a wizard. Creative direction is exploding in value. When everyone can generate a pretty image, the person who knows which pretty image to generate becomes the boss. And communication? Underrated superpower. The remote work experiment stabilized, and studios realized that the artists who can write a clear Slack message, give feedback without ego, and document their work are worth more than the brilliant lone wolves. The artist who can model, texture, and explain their pipeline decisions to a producer? That's the unicorn now. But here's the thing about all these skills. They're moving targets. So where is this train going? Neural rendering is about to hit mainstream. We're talking AI-assisted real-time output that looks like offline rendering. The line between real-time and final quality is dissolving. AI agents, actual autonomous systems, not just tools, will handle roughly 30% of scene assembly and look dev within the next 18 months. Not replacing artists. Handling the boring parts so artists can do two things: direct the AI and fix what it gets wrong. The pure generalist is dying. The T-shaped artist, deep expertise in one area, broad literacy across the pipeline, is becoming the default. In real time, it's not a feature anymore. It's the assumption. If your work can't live in a real-time engine, you're automatically limiting where it can go. The only skill that won't depreciate is adaptability. The willingness to learn the new thing before your employer asks you to. The curiosity to open the scary software. The humility to realize that what worked last year is just the foundation for this year. The 3D industry in 2026 isn't dying. It's mutating. And the artists who evolve with it aren't just surviving. They're building careers that didn't exist 5 years ago. Look, I could throw 100 more stats at you. I could talk about unionization efforts in VFX, or the rise of artist-owned co-ops, or why Houdini adoption is accelerating faster than anyone predicted. But here's what matters. If you're in this industry right now, you're not too late. You're not obsolete. You're just operating in a landscape that rewards different skills than it did 3 years ago. And the beautiful thing? Those skills are learnable. Taste can be trained. Pipeline thinking can be developed. USD can be learned in a weekend if you're motivated. If this report gave you clarity, or if it scared you in a productive way, here's what I need you to do. Hit that subscribe button, because this channel doesn't do hype. We do honest breakdowns of what's actually happening in 3D, game dev, and creative tech. Every week, we cut through the noise and talk about the shifts that affect your career. If you want to stay ahead of the curve instead of chasing it, you need to be here. Drop a comment and tell me, what part of the 3D industry are you betting on? Virtual production? Indie games? Spatial computing? AI pipeline work? I read every single comment, and your insights shape what we cover next. Like this video if it helped you see the bigger picture. The algorithm needs to know this reached you, so it can reach the other artists who are confused, anxious, or just trying to figure out where they fit. Share it with someone who's been spiraling about AI or feeling lost in their 3D career. Sometimes the right information at the right moment is the difference between quitting and doubling down. The 3D industry isn't a dead end. It's a maze. And now you have the map. Keep learning. Keep adapting. And I'll see you in the next breakdown. Peace.